Hello aspirants, welcome to the Jobs and Education. In this video, I am providing you 100 important current affairs from the month of September 2025 from Hindu, Indian Express, PIB and RS TV for all the competitive exams like UPSC, SSC and bank exams. First question reads, consider the following statements regarding the recent protests in Leh, Ladakh. First statement reads, the primary demands of the protesters include statehood and the extension of the 6th schedule of the constitution to the Union Territory of Ladakh. Second statement reads, the 6th schedule provides for the administration of tribal areas in 4 northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Third statement reads, the protests have highlighted the friction between the region's Buddhist and Muslim communities undermining their collective cause. So which of the statements given above are correct? The answer for the first question is that option A, 1 and 2 options are correct. Third statement is wrong because the unity of Buddhists and Muslims has been a strength for the cause. Second question reads, the recently announced comprehensive policy package for India's maritime ecosystem extending to 2036 primarily aims to achieve which of the following? 4 options are given. First option says mandatory 100% reservation of all Indian coastal trade for Indian flagged vessels. Second statement, making India a global hub for shipbuilding and shipping services. Third statement, privatizing all major port trusts under a new port lease and operations model. Fourth statement, establishing a sovereign wealth fund solely for the development of deep sea fishing trawlers. So out of these 4 statements, which of the statement is correct? Here the correct option is B, making India a global hub for shipbuilding and shipping services. Third question reads, with reference to the recent test firing of the Agni P missile, consider the following statements. It is a new generation nuclear capable intermediate range ballistic missile. Second statement, the recent test demonstrated its launch capability from a rail-based mobile launcher. Third statement, rail mobility enhances the missile's operational flexibility and survivability against a first strike. Which of the statements are correct? The answer for the third question is that all the 3 options are correct and Agni P is a nuclear capable IRBM. Fourth question reads, which of the following are the reasons for the low rate of maternity reintegration in the Indian workforce as highlighted by recent social surveys? 3 statements given. First one, societal norms often leading to the always available caregiver stereotype for mothers. Second statement, high percentage of listed firms in India having women in key managerial positions, KMPs. Third statement reads, cultural perception as noted by Pew Research that men are better suited for paid work. Which of the statements are correct? Answer for the fourth question is that option C. Hence, statement 1 and 3 are correct. Second statement is incorrect because the news analysis cited a survey showing a high percentage of listed firms in India have no women in KMPs. KMPs means key managerial positions. Fifth question reads, in the context of personality rights of celebrities in India, consider the following legal provisions. 3 statements given, Copyright Act 1957, Trademarks Act 1999, Common Law Tort of Passing Off. Which of the above can be used to protect a celebrity's rights against the unauthorized commercial use of their name, image or catchphrases? The answer for the fifth question is that option D. So all the 3 statements given are correct. Sixth question reads that the Kokrajhar-Gelefu Special Railway Project recently in news is significant for India's strategic and economic interests because it aims to 4 statements given. First one, establish the first high-speed rail link with Nepal enhancing Buddhist tourism. Second one, provide the first ever rail connectivity to Bhutan, boosting trade and the Act East policy. Third statement, create a direct railway line connecting the northeast to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Fourth one, build a trans-Himalayan railway line that bypasses the Siliguri corridor? The answer for the sixth question is that B option, that is provide the first ever railway connectivity to Bhutan and boosting trade and the Act East policy. If you like this initiative, please do encourage with your small donation to PhonePe or Google Pay by scanning these. If you like this initiative, encourage with your small donation so that I can provide more videos for your preparation. Do some encouragement with your small donation. Seventh question reads, the concept of the right to be cool or cooling rights as discussed in recent editorials is most relevant in the context of. So the options are mandating air conditioning in all public health facilities across India. B option, ensuring access to sustainable and affordable cooling for the vulnerable in sweltering global south. C option, formulating a new policy for the conservation of the cold desert biosphere in Ladakh. Fourth option, granting legal status to the right to clean drinking water and moderate climate. The answer for the seventh question is that B option, that says ensuring access to sustainable and affordable cooling for the vulnerable in sweltering global south. Very important. Eighth question reads, consider the following statements regarding the Hindu Succession Act 1956. The three statements are, first one, the act applies only to Hindus, excluding Buddhists, Jains and Sikhs. Second statement, it does not apply to members of scheduled tribes unless specifically notified by the central government. Third statement, the primary objective was to bring uniformity in property succession and remove gender-based discrimination. Which of the above statements are correct? The answer for the eighth question is that B option, statements 2 and 3 are correct. First statement is incorrect because this act applies to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains and Sikhs. So all the four religions. Ninth question reads, the Ek Ganta Shramdan 1 hour voluntary labor initiative recently launched as part of the Swachhata Hi Seva campaign is a nationwide voluntary cleanliness drive aimed at. The options are, first one, compelling all municipal corporations to achieve 100% door-to-door waste collection target. Second statement, strengthening the Swachh Bharat mission through a Jan Andolan people's movement for cleaning public spaces. C option, imposing penalty on individuals for littering in public spaces under a new central ordinance. D option, raising funds for the construction of sustainable toilets in all rural households. The answer for ninth question is that B option, strengthening the Swachh Bharat mission through a Jan Andolan for cleaning public spaces. 10th question reads, the annual Sustainable Mountain Development Summit, often featured in news related to the Himalayan ecosystem, primarily focuses on. The options are, first option, promoting military infrastructure development in high altitude border areas. B option, regulating tourist influx to cap the yearly visitor numbers in fragile zones. C option, strengthening community participation in governance and policy making for the Himalayan region. D option, establishing new biosphere reserves to increase the forest cover by 20% by 2030. The answer for the 10th question is that C option, strengthening community participation in governance and policy making for the Himalayan region. 11th question, with reference to the formation of Indian states, consider the following pairs. State and events given, Jammu Kashmir, Maharashtra and Goa. So admission to Dominion of India, establishment by law under Article 3, formation as a full state from a UT. So match the following. The answer for the 11th question is that only first pair is correct. Jammu Kashmir is acceded to the Dominion of India by signing the Instrument of Accession. So second one, Maharashtra, it was formed in 1960 by the reorganization of the erstwhile Bombay state, and Goa was established as a full state in 1987 by the State of Goa Act. So statement 1 is correct and 2 and 3 are incorrect. 12th question reads, which of the following statements about weather phenomena and related geographical features are correct based on recent news concerning mini cloudbursts and geographical features? The statements are, first one, orographic rainfall primarily occurs when air masses are forced to rise over mountain barriers such as in the Western Ghats. Second statement, frontal rainfall, also known as cyclonic rainfall, is characteristic of the Amazon rainforest. Third statement reads, mini cloudbursts, a localized intense form of rainfall, are reported to be on the rise, especially in hilly terrains. So which of the statements are correct? Here the answer for the 12th question is that statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect because the Amazon rainforest primarily receives convectional rainfall. 13th question reads, the Raman Magsaysay Award, often called Asia's Nobel Prize, was recently in the news for its 2025 winner. With respect to the award, consider the following statements. First statement reads, it is primarily given for contributions in the field of scientific research and technology. Second statement, the 2025 award was won by Educate Girls, which became the first Indian organization to receive the honor. Which of the statements are correct? The answer for 13th question is that only B option, that is 2 only correct. Statement 1 is incorrect because the Raman Magsaysay Award is primarily given for contributions in leadership, public service, community development, journalism, literature and creative communication, arts, and peace and international understanding. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. 14th question reads, with reference to the news regarding the nationwide rollout of E20 petrol, consider the following statements. 3 statements are given. First one, E20 petrol refers to motor spirit blended with 20% ethanol by volume. Ethanol blending aims to reduce India's crude oil import bill and lower carbon monoxide emissions. The Supreme Court recently upheld a plea challenging the rollout of E20 petrol, citing mandatory quality control order compliance issues. Which of the statements are correct? The answer for the 14th question is that B option. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect because the Supreme Court refused to entertain or dismisses a plea challenging the nationwide rollout, indicating the program is proceeding. 15th question reads that the new Bairabi-Sairang railway line was recently in the news for significantly enhancing connectivity in India's northeast region. This new rail line is set to connect a state that was for a long time dependent solely on road transport. Which state will this railway line primarily benefit? Nagaland, Sikkim, Mizoram, Manipur. The correct answer for the 15th question is that Mizoram. C option is correct. 16th question reads, consider the following statements regarding the Digital Agriculture Mission recently approved by the Union Cabinet. 3 statements are given. First one reads, its primary objective is to create a digital public infrastructure for the farm sector in India. Second statement reads, the mission is executed by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY. Third statements, key components include the development of farmer registry, a unified crop survey system, and an integrated system for crop insurance claims. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 16th question is that B option. Statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because the Digital Agriculture Mission is executed by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, not MeitY. 17th question reads, the Teesta River water sharing dispute often appears in the news concerning India's bilateral relations with. So the options are Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan. The correct answer for the 17th question is that option B, that is Bangladesh. The Teesta River is a major tributary of the Brahmaputra, and the dispute over sharing its water during the lean season is a long-standing issue between India and Bangladesh. 18th question reads, with reference to the Law Commission of India, consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, it is a statutory body established under an Act of Parliament. Second statement reads, it is primarily an advisory body to the Ministry of Law and Justice. Third statement reads, the Commission is usually reconstituted for a term of 3 years. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 18th question is that option B, Statement 2 and 3 are correct. Statement 1 is incorrect. Why? Because the Law Commission of India is a non-statutory body. Non-statutory body, it is not a statutory body. 19th question reads, consider the following statements regarding India's push for a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem. Statement 1 reads, the program for development of semiconductors and display manufacturing ecosystem in India was announced with the Ministry of Science and Technology as the nodal ministry. Second statement, investment proposals for setting up semiconductor manufacturing units in India are eligible for a substantial financial incentive from the government. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 19th question is that option B, 2 only. So statement 1 is incorrect because the program for development of semiconductors and display manufacturing ecosystem in India is spearheaded by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology through the India Semiconductor Mission ISM. 20th question reads, the Vulture Count 2024 initiative, a population tracking exercise for vultures, was recently launched by. The options are Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Second option, Bombay Natural History Society. Third option, WWF India, Worldwide Fund for Nature India. Fourth option, National Biodiversity Authority NBA. The correct answer is option C, WWF India, Worldwide Fund for Nature India. 21st question reads, with reference to exercise Varuna, which was recently in the news, consider the following statements. First option, it's a bilateral naval exercise between India and France. Second option, the 2024 edition was held in the Arabian Sea. Third option, the exercise reflects the strong strategic partnership and maritime cooperation between the two nations. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer is option C. Statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because the 2024 edition was reported to have been held in the Mediterranean Sea, not in Arabian Sea. So statement 2 is incorrect. 22nd question. The AgriSure Fund, sometimes seen in the news, is related to which of the following? The options are a new scheme to provide minimum support price for certain agriculture produce. Second option, a fund part of the alternative investment fund to support high risk, high impact agriculture startups. Third option, a dedicated corpus for ensuring crops against climate related disasters. Fourth option, a government initiative to subsidize the cost of modern farm machinery for small and marginal farmers. The correct answer for 22nd question is that option B, a fund part of the alternative investment fund to support high risk, high impact agricultural startups. 23rd question reads, consider the following page regarding Indian medalists at the Paris Paralympics 2024. First one, Nitish Kumar, men's singles badminton, gold. Deepti Jivanji, women's 400 meters, bronze. Sachin Kilari, men's shot put, silver. Which of the pairs are correctly matched? The correct answer for 23rd question is that option C, all the three are correct. 24th question reads, which of the following issues was a key subject of Supreme Court ruling or a significant social debate featured in the Hindu on September 4, 2024? The options are regulations regarding the use of Personal Data Protection Act by social media firms. Second option, the need for due process and legal procedures before authorities demolish the properties of accused individuals. C option, review of the goods and services tax structure for essential commodities. Option D, guidelines for the appointment of directors in public sector banks. So the correct answer for the 24th question is that option B, the need for due process and legal procedures before authorities demolish the properties of accused individuals. 25th question reads, what was the central theme of a recent editorial, The Hindu, concerning artificial intelligence governance that India needs to shape? The options are the impact of AI on rural employment and agriculture productivity. Option B, the necessity for a new international convention on AI ethics, primarily led by the G7. Option C, the development of an Indian discourse and a regulatory framework on AI governance, focusing on balancing innovation with ethical concerns. Option D, advocating for a complete ban on deepfake technology until robust security measures are in place. The correct answer for the 25th question is that option C, the development of an Indian discourse and regulatory framework on AI governance focusing on balancing innovation with ethical concerns. 26th question reads, the Centralized Processing Center for Pensioners, recently in the news, is a government initiative that aims to achieve which of the following? The options are to allow central government pensioners to receive pension payments through any bank or bank branch of their choice. Second option, to integrate the pension records with the Aadhaar and PAN databases for direct benefit transfer. Third option, to replace the existing pension payment order system entirely with a new digital certificate. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 26th question is that option A, only one's first statement is correct. Second and third statements are incorrect, because while integration with digital IDs is part of the larger digitalization effort, and the CPPS news on this date primarily focused on the payment flexibility aspect. Statement 3 is incorrect because CPPS is about processing payments efficiently, not replacing the PPO entirely, which is the foundational document for pension. 27th question reads, the editorial subclassification verdict through Ambedkar's ideas referred to the Supreme Court's deliberations on subclassification within the scheduled caste. This issue primarily concerns option A, whether the principle of creamy layer can be applied to scheduled caste similar to other backward classes. Option B, the constitutional validity of providing preferential treatment to the most deprived subgroups within the SC category. Option C, reviewing the total ceiling of 50% on reservations as mandated by the Indra Sahani judgment. Option D, amending Article 335 of the Constitution to introduce economic criteria for reservations in services. So the correct answer for the 27th question is that option B, that says the constitutional validity of providing preferential treatment to the most deprived subgroups within the SC category. 28th question reads, which of the following best describes the primary objective of the Human Resources for Health and Medical Education scheme discussed in the context of states' utilization of central health funds? Options are providing financial assistance to citizens for high-cost medical treatments in private hospitals. Second statement, focusing on research and development of indigenous vaccines and medical technology, increasing the number of medicinal or medical personnel by establishing new medical, nursing and paramedical colleges. Option D, launching a national digital health mission to store all patient records electronically. The correct answer for the 28th question is that option C, increasing the number of medical personnel by establishing new medical, nursing and paramedical colleges. 29th question reads, in recent International Labour Organization study featured the Hindu linked artificial intelligence to a dip in global labor income. What is the most plausible economic mechanism highlighted by such studies for this phenomenon? Options are, first one, AI driven automation is leading to job creation primarily in high skill sectors while simultaneously displacing workers in routine middle skill jobs. Second option, AI driven platforms are leading to increased tax evasion by multinational corporations, thereby reducing government revenue available for social security. Option C say that AI is increasing the capital share of income, causing inflation and thus eroding the real wages of workers. Option D, AI is facilitating greater transparency in wage negotiations, which is pushing high earners' salaries down globally. Answer for the 29th question is that option A, AI driven automation is leading to job creation primarily in high skilling sectors. 30th question, the Public Accounts Committee recently announced it would review the performance of regulatory bodies like the Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) and audit airport tariffs. Regarding the PAC in the Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. The statements are, the PAC is the oldest financial committee of the Indian Parliament. Second option, the chairman of the PAC is always appointed from the opposition by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Third statement reads, it examines the report of the Controller and Auditor General of India. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for the 30th question is that option D. All the three statements are correct. 31st question reads, the concept of vertical fiscal imbalance, often discussed in relation to center-state financial relations in India, refers to what? So these statements are, first one, the disproportionate allocation of seats between the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. Option B, a situation where the revenue raising powers and expenditure responsibilities are not matched across different levels of government. C option, the gap between the maximum and minimum rates of goods and services tax across different states. Option D, the deficit caused when a state's borrowings exceed the limits set by the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management (FRBM) Act. This is very important. So the answer for the 31st question is that option B, a situation where the revenue raising powers and expenditure responsibilities are not matched across different levels of government. 32nd question reads, with reference to India's push for critical minerals, what is the primary strategic importance of Africa for India as highlighted in the recent news? The statements are, first one, Africa possesses vast untapped reserves of minerals like cobalt, lithium, and graphite essential for India's clean energy transition. Second statement, collaboration with African nations can help India mitigate the current dominance of a single nation in the global critical mineral supply chain. Third statement reads, India's existing expertise in large-scale deep-sea mining is a key asset that it can offer to African countries in exchange for mineral access. So which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 32nd question is that option B, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect because India's strength is typically in infrastructure development and processing, not necessarily large-scale deep-sea mining, which is a distinct and highly specialized sector. 33rd question, the editorial Stick to Fiscal Deficit as the norm for fiscal prudence discusses the importance of the fiscal deficit. Which of the following statements accurately defines the fiscal deficit? The options are, first one, it is the amount by which a government's total expenditure exceeds its total receipts, excluding market borrowings and other liabilities. Option B, it is the difference between the revenue expenditure and revenue receipts of the government. Option C, it is the total loan requirement of the government from domestic and foreign sources. Option D, it is the difference between the primary deficit and interest payments. The correct answer for 33rd question is that option A, it is the amount by which a government's total expenditure exceeds its total receipts, excluding market borrowings and other liabilities. Option A is correct. 34th question reads, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, visited India on September 8, 2024. This event highlights India's strategic engagement with the Gulf region. In this context, consider the following statements. Option 1, the comprehensive strategic partnership between India and UAE was established in 2017. Option 2, the UAE is a member of Quad grouping, which also includes India, USA, Japan. Third option, the proposed India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor passes through the UAE. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 34th question is that option C, 1 and 3 statements are correct. Second statement is incorrect because the Quad grouping members are India, USA, Japan and Australia. UAE is not a member of Quad group. 35th question reads, Tuhin Kanta Pandey was recently designated as the new Finance Secretary of India. Consider the following statements regarding the post of Finance Secretary. First statement reads, the Finance Secretary is the administrative head of the Ministry of Finance. Second statement reads, the Finance Secretary is conventionally responsible for affixing their signature on the country's currency notes. Third statement reads, the Finance Secretary is the only official from the Ministry of Finance to be an ex officio member of the Monetary Policy Committee. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for the 35th question is that option A, 1 only correct. Second statement and third statements are incorrect. Second statement is incorrect because the Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs, signs the 1 rupee currency note. All other denominations 2 and above are signed by the Governor of Reserve Bank of India. Statement 3 is incorrect because the Monetary Policy Committee has no representation from the Minister of Finance or the Finance Secretary. 36th question reads, India's National Security Advisor India's National Security Advisor Ajit Dole was scheduled to visit Russia to attend the BRICS National Security Advisors meeting with reference to the BRICS grouping. Consider the following statements. First statement reads, the grouping was originally conceived as BRIC by economist Jim O'Neill. Statement 2, the grouping is a formal treaty-based international organization with a permanent secretariat. Statement 3, the new development bank is a multilateral development bank established by the BRIC states. Which of the statements given above are correct? Answer for the 36th question is that option C, statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect because BRICS is not a formal treaty-based international organization like the UN or NATO. It's a grouping of 5 major emerging economies that operates through yearly summits and meetings. 37th question reads, the central government dissolved the Standing Committee on Economic Statistics on September 9, 2024. In this context, consider the following statements. The first statement reads, the SSCES was constituted to review the framework for economic indicators and conduct regular surveys and censuses. Second statement reads, the dissolution is directly linked to indefinite delay in conducting the decennial census of India. Third statement reads, the National Statistical Commission is the apex advisory body on all statistical matters in India. Which of the above statements are correct? The answer for 37th question is that option C, statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because while the news report mentions that delayed census, the dissolution of the SCES is a separate administrative decision. The delay in the census is attributed to other factors, primarily the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent operational issues. 38th question reads, the news of the vice presidential election results highlights the office of the Vice President of India. Consider the following statements about the election of Vice President. First statement reads, the Vice President is elected by an electoral college consisting of the members of both houses of Parliament. Second statement reads, the electoral college for the Vice President includes both elected and nominated members of Parliament. Third statement reads, the election is held in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. Which of the statements above are correct? Answer for 38th question is that option D, all the statements are correct here. 39th question, the news of the center granting licenses for the manufacture of its first indigenous malaria vaccine is significant for India's public health goals. In this context, consider the following statements. Statement 1, malaria is caused by protozoan parasite of the genus Plasmodium, primarily transmitted to humans through the bite of infected male Anopheles mosquitoes. Second statement reads, the indigenous vaccine mentioned is likely a recombinant vaccine which is produced by genetically engineered cells to generate the specific antigen. Third statement, India has set a target for the elimination of malaria from the country. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 39th question is that option B, statement 2 and 3 are correct. Statement 1 is incorrect because malaria is transmitted by infected female Anopheles mosquitoes, not male ones. 40th question, a news report covered the Supreme Court's directive to the Election Commission of India regarding the acceptance of Aadhaar as a valid document for electoral revision. This decision was primarily aimed at options are, first one, establishing Aadhaar as the sole legally valid proof of Indian citizenship for all official purposes. Option B, preventing mass dissent. Option B, preventing mass disenfranchisement of marginalized citizens, especially in remote areas. Option C, mandating the ECI to link all existing voter IDs with Aadhaar to clean up the electoral rolls. Option D, simplifying the voter registration process exclusively for non-resident Indians. The correct answer for 40th question is that option B, preventing mass disenfranchisement of marginalized citizens, especially in remote areas. Hello my dear aspirants, if you like this initiative, please do encourage with your small donation, might be 50 rupees, 100 rupees or any denomination. Please do encourage with your small donation. 41st question, the editorial discussed India's long march ahead to technological independence, focusing on challenges in both hardware and software sovereignty. Which of the following considered the most challenging area to achieve independence in and why? These statements are: first one, software sovereignty; second one, hardware sovereignty; third one, data sovereignty; fourth one, cyber security. The correct answer for 41st question is that option B, that is hardware sovereignty, because it requires substantial long-term national investment in semiconductor fabrication plants and a complex supply chain. 42nd question reads, news reports mentioned that ISRO and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the transfer of small satellite launch vehicle technology. Consider the following statements about SSLV. SSLV is a primarily designed to launch small satellites up to 500 kg into a low Earth orbit. Second statement reads, the vehicle is a 3-stage launch vehicle with all stages using solid propulsion. Third statement reads, the transfer of this technology aims to enable Indian industry to manufacture the rocket, thereby increasing the frequency of launches for small payloads. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 42nd question is that option C, statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because SSLV is a 3-stage launch vehicle, but its 3 main stages use solid propulsion. And 4th stage uses liquid propulsion to precisely inject the satellites. 43rd question, an article discussed the Wood Wide Web, which describes the natural network within a forest ecosystem. This phenomenon primarily involves the symbiotic relationship between the 4 options are: tree canopies using chemical signals to warn each other of pest attacks. Second one, insects and trees, where the insects pollinate and the trees provide shelter. C option, mycorrhizal fungi and tree roots for the exchange of nutrients and communication. Option D, different species of birds and plants in seed dispersal mechanisms. The correct answer for the 43rd question is that option C, mycorrhizal fungi and tree roots for the exchange of nutrients and communication. 44th question reads, the SCO was mentioned in the context of India's foreign policy. Which of the following statements about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is correct? Option A, SCO is a security bloc where India has a dialogue partner status but not a full membership. Option B, the SCO charter primarily focuses on military alliances and combating drug trafficking. Option C, the regional anti-terrorist structure is a permanent body of the SCO aimed at promoting cooperation against terrorism, separatism and extremism. Option D, all permanent members of SCO are also members of the Eurasian Economic Union. The answer for the 44th question is that option C, it says the regional anti-terrorist structure is a permanent body of the SCO aimed at promoting cooperation against terrorism, separatism and extremism. 45th question reads, an editorial addressed the long-standing Kachativu dispute between India and Sri Lanka. Kachativu is an uninhabited island located in which of the following water bodies? Options are Bay of Bengal, Gulf of Mannar, Park Strait and Andaman Sea. So the correct answer is Park Strait. Option C is correct. 46th question reads, the news about Delhi government and street dogs for rabies control relates to public health and animal welfare. Which of the following is the most effective and primarily benefit of microchipping dogs in such a program? Options are, it directly neutralizes the rabies virus in the dog's body. Option B, it allows for the compulsory remote tracking of the dog's location via GPS. And option C, it provides a permanent tamper-proof ID to record and verify vaccination and sterilization status. Option D, it serves as a visual indicator to the public that the dog is rabies free. Correct answer for the 46th question is that option C. It provides a permanent tamper-proof ID to record and verify vaccination and sterilization status. 47th question reads, the Supreme Court recently made an observation. Governors alleged delay in clearing crucial laws passed by the state legislature. In this context, consider the following statements. Option A governor acts solely on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers in all matters, including granting assent of bills. Second statement, the Constitution provides a specific timeline within which a governor must act on bill passed by the state legislature. Third statement, the term bill reserved for the consideration of President is mentioned under Article 200 of the Constitution. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 47th question is that Statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Statement 3 is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect because while the governor acts on the advice of the Council of Ministers in most matters, discretionary powers exist. Statement 2 is incorrect. Article 200 of the Constitution does not provide a specific timeline for the governor to act on a bill. 48th question reads, vultures were in the news concerning their potential role in preventing zoonotic pandemics and the ongoing efforts for their conservation. Consider the following page. First statement, diclofenac veterinary drug directly toxic to vultures. Second statement, vulture safe zone, an area declared free of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs for livestock use. Statement 3, gyps vultures, the most commonly found vulture species in the high altitude Himalayas. Which of the statements are correctly matched? Correct answer for the 48th question is that pair 1 and 2 are correctly matched and pair 3 is incorrectly matched because the 9 species of vultures found in India include critically endangered gyps species. The gyps vultures are primarily plain species. The vulture commonly found in the high altitude Himalayas is the Himalayan griffon, which is one of the largest species. 49th question, isobutanol, a type of alcohol, was recently in the news for its potential as a next generation biofuel. With reference to isobutanol, consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, it is a second generation biofuel that can be produced from biomass. Second statement, isobutanol has a lower energy density compared to traditional ethanol but is less corrosive. Option third, unlike ethanol, it can be directly blended with gasoline at high concentrations without requiring engine modification. Which of the statements given above are correct? The answer for the 49th question is that only statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 and 3 are incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect because isobutanol generally has a higher energy content and is less corrosive. Statement 3 is incorrect because isobutanol can be blended with gasoline but high concentrations would typically still require minor or major modifications to existing automobile engines. 51st question reads, consider the following statements with reference to the oath-taking ceremony of 15th Vice President of India, C.P. Radhakrishnan. See, the statements are, first one, he was administered the oath of office by the Chief Justice of India. Second statement, the Vice President is also the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. Third statement, the term of the Vice President's office is 6 years. Which of the statements given above correct? So the answer for 51st question is that option B, 2 only. That is, the Vice President is also the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Statement 1 is incorrect because the Vice President is administered the oath of office by the President, not by the Chief Justice of India. The third statement is incorrect because the term of the Vice President's office is 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office, not 6 years. 52nd question reads, the recent Supreme Court observation regarding upward mobility for candidates with disabilities in the context of reservation primarily relates to. The options are A, allowing persons with disabilities candidates who secure higher marks to be counted against the general category seats. B option, mandating a separate higher quota for PWD candidates who are from socially backward classes. Option C, restricting PWD candidates to only the posts reserved for their specific disability type. Option D, directing the creation of a supernumerary quota for all candidates with benchmark disabilities. The answer for 52nd question is that option A, allowing persons with disabilities, candidates who secure higher marks to be counted against the general category seats. 53rd question reads, if India's retail inflation quickens to 2.1% in a given month, ending a 9-month declining trend, which of the following is most likely to be an immediate policy response from the Reserve Bank of India? The options are A. Cutting the repo rate to encourage borrowing and investment. Option B. Increasing a statutory liquidity ratio for commercial banks. Option C. Maintaining a wait and watch stance while prioritizing price stability. Option D. Initiating open market sales of government securities to inject liquidity. The correct answer for 53rd question is that option C. Maintaining a wait and watch stance while prioritizing price stability. 54th question reads, the 56th GST Council meeting recently modified the tax structure on coal by removing the compensation cess and simultaneously raising the goods and services tax rate from 5% to 18%. The primary aim of this reform is. These statements are to support the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, to correct the inverted duty structure, and to increase the overall tax revenue of the central government from coal sales. Correct answer for 54th question is that option C. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect because while the GST rate is increased, the removal of the substantial compensation cess is expected to reduce the overall tax burden on the final consumer. 55th question. The recently launched Gyan Bharatam mission is primarily aimed at options: establishing a pan-India network of smart libraries for digital learning. Option B. Digitizing and cataloging over 1 crore manuscripts using AI, OCR and blockchain technologies. Option C. Promoting the development of regional languages through machine translation. Option D. Creating a national database of traditional knowledge digital library for patent protection. Correct answer for 55th question is that option B. Gyan Bharatam mission means digitizing and cataloging over 1 crore manuscripts using AI, OCR and blockchain technologies. 56th question. INS Aravali recently in the news refers to options: India's first indigenously developed small modular reactor. Option B. A shore-based naval information and communication facility for maritime domain awareness. Option C. A new class of submarine designed for littoral warfare. Option D. A high-altitude pseudo-satellite for monitoring the Indian Ocean region. The correct answer for 56th question is that option B. A shore-based naval information and communication facility for maritime domain awareness. 57th question is that with reference to the recent National Conference of Anti-Narcotics Task Force heads, which of the following statements are correct? Statement 1. The second National Conference of ANTF heads was inaugurated by the Union Home Minister in New Delhi. Second statement. A key initiative launched during the conference was the online drug disposal campaign for transparent and safe disposal of seized narcotics. Third statement. The ANTF is a specialized unit of National Investigation Agency to tackle drug trafficking. Which of the above statements are correct? The answer for 57th question is that option B. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect because Anti-Narcotics Task Force is generally set up at the state union territory level by state police. 58th question. Consider the following statements regarding the initiative of establishing the first bamboo-based bioethanol plant in India. The statements are: it was recently inaugurated by the Prime Minister in the state of Assam. Second statement, this initiative aligns with the government's push for achieving 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. The production of bioethanol from bamboo falls under the scope of National Policy on Biofuels 2018. Which of the given statements are correct? The correct answer for 58th question is that statement 1, 2 and 3 all are correct. Option D. 59th question. With reference to the new political developments in Nepal, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The new interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki is Nepal's first woman Prime Minister. Second statement reads, her appointment follows youth-led Gen Z protests demanding an end to corruption. Third statement reads, Nepal's political system is a constitutional monarchy. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 59th question is that statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect because Nepal became a federal democratic republic in 2008 after the abolition of monarchy. 60th question, which country was the top destination for India's outward foreign direct investment in 2024-25 according to recent RBI data? The options are USA, Mauritius, or Singapore, UAE. The correct answer for top destination for India's outward foreign direct investment is that Singapore. Option C is correct. 61st question reads, with reference to the WHO Mental Health Atlas 2024 report, which was discussed in the news, consider the following statements. Statement 1, the report highlights that more than 1 billion people globally are living with mental health disorders, including anxiety and depression. Second statement, mental health issues are reported as the leading cause of disability across the world. Statement 3, the National Mental Health Program in India aims to provide universal access to minimum mental health care. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer for 61st question is that statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect because while mental health issues are a significant public health challenge, the WHO report highlighted that they have become the second leading cause of disability globally. Very important. 62nd question reads, the recently enacted Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025, which streamlines the legislative regime for foreign nationals in India, is primarily aimed at. The statements are, first one, consolidating various fragmented laws relating to the entry and regulation of foreign nationals into a single legal framework. Second statement, empowering foreigners tribunals with new jurisdictional powers to determine the status of individuals. Third statement reads, establishing a national register of citizens for the entire country. Which of the given statements are correct? The correct answer for 62nd question is that statement 1, 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect. Statement 3 is incorrect because while the issue of NRC is related to citizenship and foreign national, the news discussion on the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025 focused on consolidating the regime for foreign entry and regulation. 63rd question. Consider the following statements regarding India's outward flow of foreign direct investment. So, first statement reads, OFDI refers to investment made by Indian resident entity in a foreign entity. Statement 2, the outward flow of FDI from India is primarily driven by the services sector. Third statement reads, as per recent RBI data, the majority of India's OFDI is channeled to countries like Singapore and Mauritius, often cited as major tax havens. Correct answer for 63rd question is that statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 64th question reads, the group of 7 was recently in the news with respect to G7. Which of the following statement is not correct? Not correct. First statement reads, the G7 is an intergovernmental political forum that officially began in 1975. Option B, all member countries of G7 are also permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, UNSC. Option C, the G7 includes the United States, the United Kingdom and Japan. Option D, the group does not have a formal constitution or a fixed headquarters. The correct answer for 64th question is that option A, C and D are correct. Option B is not correct, B. So the G7 members are Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK and United States. Japan, Germany and Italy are not permanent members of UNSC. 65th question, consider the following statements with reference to the plastic pollution crisis and India's response. The statements are, first one, India's extended producer responsibility guidelines for plastic packaging cover both rigid and flexible plastic packaging. Second statement, the current global treaty negotiations on plastic pollution aim to cover the entire life cycle of plastic from source to sea. Statement 3, the term circular economy in the context of plastic waste primarily focuses on minimizing waste through resource efficiency, reusing and recycling. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 65th question is that statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 66th question. The news reported on India's first bamboo-based ethanol plant. In this context, consider the following statements. First statement reads, bamboo is categorized as grass under the Indian Forest Act 1927 to promote its cultivation and commercial use. Second statement, bioethanol produced from bamboo falls under the first generation biofuels category. Third statement reads, ethanol blending in petrol is primarily aimed at reducing India's crude oil import dependency and lowering carbon monoxide emissions. Which of the above given statements are correct? The correct answer for 66th question is that statement 1 is correct, statement 3 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 2 is incorrect because bioethanol from edible sources like sugarcane and molasses is considered first 1G, first generation. Ethanol derived from lignocellulosic biomasses is classified as second generation biofuel. 67th question reads, the Scarborough Shoal, often seen in the news, is a contested territory located in which of the following water bodies? East China Sea, South China Sea, Yellow Sea, Celeb Sea. The correct answer is that Scarborough Shoal is located in South China Sea. Option B. 68th question. Consider the following statements regarding Operation Polo. First statement reads, it was a military operation launched in 1948 to integrate the princely state of Hyderabad into the Indian Union. Second statement, the operation was necessitated because the Nizam of Hyderabad had declared the state's complete independence, rejecting accession to either India or Pakistan. Statement 3, the accession of Junagadh was completed through a plebiscite, unlike Hyderabad's integration. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer for 68th question is that statement 1, 2, 3 all are correct. 69th question. The term involution, sometimes seen in the context of Chinese economy and its electric vehicle sector, refers to. Statements are, first one, a policy of economic decoupling where a country attempts to withdraw from global supply chains to promote self-reliance. A process where increased competitive intensity leads to a price war among rivals, often resulting in market stagnation and diminishing profits below production cost. Third statement, the deliberate transfer of high-tech manufacturing capacity from developed coastal areas to less developed interior provinces to ensure balanced regional growth. Option D, a cyclical economic phenomenon where a sharp domestic slowdown is immediately followed by a rapid government-led export-driven recovery. The correct answer for 69th question is that option B, a process where increased competitive intensity leads to a price war among rivals, often resulting in market stagnation and diminishing profits below production cost. 70th question, consider the following statements regarding cheetah relocation project. First statement reads, both Asiatic and African cheetahs are classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Second statement, the existing cheetah population in India was introduced from Namibia and is of the Asiatic subspecies. Third statement, the proposed location for the second indigenous cheetah population is often mentioned as Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 70th question is that only statement 3 is correct. Statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect because the African cheetah is classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. However, Asiatic cheetah, which is now restricted to Iran, is classified as critically endangered. Second statement is incorrect because the cheetahs introduced to Kuno National Park were from South Africa and Namibia and belong to the African cheetah subspecies. 71st question, with reference to the structure and voting mechanism of Goods and Services Tax Council. First statement reads, the GST Council is a constitutional body established under Article 279A of the Indian Constitution. Second statement, the quorum required for a meeting of the GST Council is 2/3 of the total members. Decisions in the GST Council are taken by a majority of not less than 3/4 of the weighted votes of the members present and voting. The correct answer for 71st question is that statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. The statement 2 is incorrect because as per Article 279A, the quorum for meeting of the GST Council is 1/2 of the total number of members, not 2/3. 72nd question. The monkey munda system, occasionally mentioned in the context of tribal governance and history, is a traditional self-governance framework associated with the tribal communities in which regions of India? So the options are Northeast India, Nagaland, Manipur. B option Central India like Chhattisgarh and Odisha. C option Chota Nagpur Plateau region like Jharkhand and Bihar. D option Western Ghats like Maharashtra and Goa. The correct answer for 72nd question is that the monkey munda system is a traditional system of village level administration and revenue collection found primarily among the Ho tribal community in the Kolhan region of the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Option C. 73rd question reads, with reference to the United Pension Scheme, which was recently in the news, consider the following statements. This Unified Pension Scheme, it's a mandatory scheme for all new government recruits or joining on or after a specific date. Second statement, the scheme offers a defined benefit post-retirement where the pension amount is a fixed percentage of the last drawn salary. Statement 3 is a key feature of the UPS is to allow portability of pension accounts across different central and state government services. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 73rd question is that statement 2, that says that the discussion around UPS often centers on providing defined benefit. 74th question reads, which of the following statements about the Dharmarajika Stupa often mentioned in the context of Sarnath? So first statement reads, it is believed to be one of the original stupas built by Emperor Ashoka. Statement 2, the term Dharmarajika signifies that it was primarily a site for Buddhist philosophical debate rather than worship. Statement 3, it is currently maintained and protected by Archaeological Survey of India. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 74th question is that statement 1 and statement 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. Because in the Buddhist context, a stupa is primarily a reliquary, a structure containing the relics of Buddha or an important saint, and is a site of worship and veneration, not specifically a site for philosophical debate. 75th question reads, the term judicial experimentalism, sometimes seen in the context of Indian jurisprudence, most accurately refers to. Jurisprudence means what? Option A, the Supreme Court of India's power to review its own judgments based on new evidence. Option B, the application of international laws and conventions in domestic judicial pronouncements. Option C, a judicial approach where the court's pronouncements are flexible, provisional and tested against real-world data and outcomes before becoming permanent legal fixtures. Option D, the use of technology like artificial intelligence in courtrooms to speed up the process of justice delivery. The judicial experimentalism is a concept discussed in legal analysis, particularly in editorials in Hindu and Indian Express, that describes a style of judicial decision making. It involves the judiciary adopting an incremental, cautious approach to policy-oriented judgments. 76th question. With reference to the PM Mega Integrated Textile Region and Apparel Parks scheme, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The scheme is a centrally sponsored scheme with a total outlay of over 4,000 crore for the period of 2021 to 22 to 27-28. Second statement, the parks are intended to promote the 5F vision, farm to fiber to factory to fashion to foreign. Third statement reads, the PM Mitra parks will be developed by special purpose vehicle owned jointly by central and state governments. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 76th question is that option B, statement 2 and 3 are correct. Statement 1 is incorrect because the scheme is a central sector scheme. The scheme is a central sector scheme, not centrally sponsored scheme. 77th question, consider the following statements regarding the national policy on geothermal energy 2025. Statement 1. The policy aims to promote geothermal energy only for electricity generation, similar to solar and wind energy. Second statement, under the new policy, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has been designated as the nodal agency. Third statement, the Puga Valley in Ladakh and the Cambay Basin are identified as prominent geothermal provinces in India. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 77th question is that option B, only 2. So statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 and 3 are correct. Why statement 1 is incorrect? The policy promotes geothermal energy for a wide range of applications, including direct uses like district heating, cold storage, greenhouses, and aquaculture, in addition to electricity generation also. 78th question reads, the Japanese encephalitis virus, often covered in the news, is primarily transmitted to humans through the bite of which of the following mosquito genera? Aedes, Anopheles, Culex, Mansonia. So the correct answer is C, Culex. Culex mosquito. With reference to Periyar Tiger Reserve, consider the following statements. Statement 1, it is located in the Western Ghats of Kerala. Second statement, it is known for a unique model of participatory forest management which involved transforming farmer poachers into protectors. Third statement reads, the reserve is known for its population of the Bengal tiger and Asiatic lion. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 79th question is that statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect. Why statement 3 is incorrect? While the reserve is home to Bengal tiger and the Indian elephant, the Asiatic lion is only found in the Gir National Park in Gujarat. 80th question, with reference to the India-EU strategic partnership, which has seen renewed focus, consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, the partnership covers cooperation in trade, technology, defense, and climate change. The EU has historically been India's largest trading partner. Third statement reads, both sides are currently engaged in negotiations for a comprehensive free trade agreement. So which of the given statements are correct? The correct answer for 80th question is that option B, statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because as of recent reports, the US is India's largest trading partner, though the EU collectively remains a major partner. If you like this initiative, please do some encouragement with your small donations. So whatever the amount you want to donate, please donate and encourage me to do more videos. Eighty-first question reads, the recent news about the US revoking the sanctions waiver for the Chabahar port highlights its strategic importance for India. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, Chabahar is Iran's only oceanic port and is located on the Gulf of Oman. Statement 2, the port serves as India's key gateway to Afghanistan and Central Asia, allowing it to bypass Pakistan. Statement 3, the port is a crucial part of the International North-South Transport Corridor project. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer for 81st question is that option D, all the statements are correct. 82nd question reads, the draft digital competition bill aimed at regulating large tech firms was a prominent topic. The bill proposes an ex-ante framework. Which of the following is the key characteristic of an ex-ante regulatory framework in competition law? The statements are A option, it involves penalizing anti-competitive behavior after the harm to competition has occurred. Option B, it sets out specific mandatory obligations for systematically significant digital enterprises to prevent anti-competitive behavior before it occurs. Option C, it relies on the Competition Commission of India to investigate cases only after a formal complaint is filed by an affected party. Option D, it treats all digital market participants equally regardless of their market share or size. The correct answer for 82nd question is that option B. So digital competition bill, it sets out specific mandatory obligations for systematically significant digital enterprises to prevent anti-competitive behavior before it occurs. 83rd question reads, the US Federal Reserve's decision to cut the policy interest rate was discussed in editorials. How is a rate cut by the US Fed generally expected to affect Indian economy? The statements are: it could potentially lead to the appreciation or stabilization of the Indian rupee against the US dollar. It tends to increase the inflow of foreign institutional investment into the Indian equity and bond markets. Third statement: it is likely to make India's exports to the US relatively more expensive. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer for the 83rd question is that all the statements are correct. Statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 84th question reads: India recently achieved a significant milestone by successfully test firing the Agni Prime missile from a rail-based mobile launcher system. Consider the following statements. First statement reads: Agni Prime is a new generation surface-to-air missile with a range of less than 1000 kilometers. Second statement reads: it's a two-stage canisterized solid propellant ballistic missile. The rail mobile launch capability significantly enhances the missile's survivability and response time. Which of the statements given above are correct? The correct answer for 84th question is that option B. Second and third statements are correct. First statement is incorrect because Agni Prime is a surface-to-surface ballistic missile with a range between 1000 to 2000 kilometers. It's a medium-range ballistic missile. 85th question. An editorial on September 19 highlighted the need for more focus to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 3. Which of the following is the primary goal of SDG 3? The statements are: achieve gender equality. Statement B: ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. Option C: ensure inclusive and equitable equality education. Option D: take urgent action to combat climate change. So the correct answer is good health and well-being, that is option B, ensure healthy lives. 86th question reads: the global minimum tax, a key component of the OECD or G20's two-pillar solution, aims to address tax challenges arising from the digitalization of the economy. Consider the following statements regarding the GMT Pillar 2. The statements are: it proposes a minimum corporate tax rate of 15% for multinational corporations with annual revenues exceeding a specified threshold. Statement 2. The GMT framework is intended to eliminate the race to bottom among countries offering lower corporate tax rates to attract foreign investment. For India, the implementation of GMT is expected to pose a major challenge to its existing concessional tax regimes for special economic zones. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 86th question is that all the statements, statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 87th question reads: in a recent board meeting, the Board of Security Exchange Board of India announced several reforms for the capital market. Which of the following is not one of the key reforms recently approved or discussed for the mutual fund industry? The options are: first one, promoting gender inclusion by offering additional incentives. Option B, redefining real estate investment trustees. Option C, mandating that all equity mutual fund schemes must stop new subscriptions. Option D, revising the incentive structure for distributors in B30 cities to encourage greater penetration in smaller towns. The correct answer for this 87th question is that option C, mandating that all equity mutual fund schemes must stop new subscriptions once their assets under management cross 50,000 crores. 88th question. India's recent diplomatic move to strongly condemn a specific military strike in a West Asian country was noted as a shift from its typical non-committal stance. This move is primarily driven by India's strategic interests related to that country in which two of the following areas. So the options are: energy security, defense equipment procurement, safety of the Indian diaspora, and membership in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So which of the given statements are correct? Statement 1 and 3 are correct. Energy security and safety of Indian diaspora are correct. Defense equipment procurement, membership in SCO are incorrect. 89th question reads: a surge in India's index of industrial production was a major economic news point regarding the IIP in India. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads: IIP is compiled and published monthly by National Statistical Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Statement 2. Index measures the short-term changes in the volume of production of basket of industrial products. Statement 3 reads the 8 core industries, which include coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cement, and electricity, comprise nearly 80% of the total weight in the IIP. Which of the following statements are correct? The correct answer for 89th question is that options statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect. 3 is incorrect because the 8 core industries do not comprise nearly 80% of the total weight. They comprise approximately 40.27% of the weight. 90th question. An editorial discussed the need for an integrated climate health vision in India, drawing lessons from successful welfare schemes. Which of the following flagship government schemes or programs are cited as having successfully integrated environment action with public health outcomes? So the options are PM Poshan Scheme, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 90th question is that statement 1, 2, 3 all are correct. PM Poshan Scheme, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. 91st question reads about the diesel blending in India's energy strategy. So first statement reads isobutanol is a synthetic fuel that is being explored as an alternative to ethanol for blending with diesel. Statement 2 reads the primary objective of this blending initiative is to reduce the country's dependence on crude oil imports and lower greenhouse gas emissions. Statement 3 reads India has already pioneered the technology for successful isobutanol diesel blending on global scale. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 91st question is that option B, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 3 is incorrect. Why statement 3 is incorrect means the news suggests that the government is aiming to assess the feasibility of isobutanol diesel blends through pilot projects with the potential to pioneer this technology if successful. India has not yet pioneered it globally. 92nd question reads the recent clarification by US government regarding the H-1B visa entry fee is significant for Indian IT sector. In this context, consider the following statements. So first statement reads the H-1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows US employers to temporarily employ foreign workers in specialty occupations. Statement 2, the visa is capped annually by the US Congress with a dedicated quota for citizens of India under a separate agreement. Statement 3, the H-1B visa is governed by provisions of US Immigration and Nationality Act. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 92nd question is that statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. Why statement 2 is incorrect? While the visa is capped, there is no separate country-specific quota for Indian citizens under a specific bilateral agreement. 93rd question. The Supreme Court of India recently reinforced the Bonnard standard in a case involving journalistic freedom. The Bonnard standard is related to. The statements are first one, granting habeas corpus writs in cases of administrative detention. Statement 2, setting strict criteria for issuing pre-trial injunctions in defamation cases. Option C, defining the limits of Parliament's power to amend the fundamental rights. Option D, determining the validity of anti-defection law under the 10th schedule. So the correct answer for 93rd question is that option B, setting strict criteria for issuing pre-trial injunctions in defamation cases. 94th question reads that 28th National Conference on E-Governance was in the news on September 22nd. What was the theme for this conference? Option A, ease of living, digital inclusion and access. Option B, Viksit Bharat, civil service and digital transformation. Option C, digital governance, innovation for public service delivery. Option D, governance in the new era, technology, transparency and trust. Correct answer for 94th question is that option B, Viksit Bharat, civil service and digital transformation. 95th question reads World Rhino Day is observed every year on September 22nd in the context of rhino conservation in India. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, The greater one-horned rhino is primarily found in the terai grasslands of India and Nepal. Second statement, the species is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. Third statement reads, India's conservation efforts are primarily guided by the Indian Rhino Vision 2020 program. Which of the above statements are correct? The correct answer for 95th question is that statement 1 and 3 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect because the greater one-horned rhino is listed as vulnerable, not endangered. 96th question reads, with reference to the recent trends of low inflation and its impact on the economy, consider the following statements. Statement 1 reads, real GDP is calculated using constant prices, making it a better indicator of actual economic growth than nominal GDP. Statement 2, a significantly lower than projected nominal GDP growth can potentially impact the government's tax revenue and subsequent calculations for fiscal deficit. Statement 3, high inflation is generally beneficial for borrowers at a fixed interest rate. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for 96th question is that statement 1, 2, 3 all are correct. 97th question reads, consider the following statements about the Agni Prime missile recently test fired by India. Statement 1, it is a two-stage solid fuel propelled missile. It has an operational range between 1000 km to 2000 km. The test was notable for being a first of its kind launch from a rail-based mobile launcher system in India. Which of the statements are correct? The correct answer for the 97th question is that statement 1, 2, 3 all are correct. 98th question, it is regarding Visakhapatnam Declaration. So the options are promoting citizen-centric services through the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Option B, formulating a national policy on data security and privacy in the context of digital public infrastructure. Option C, strengthening the role of state governors in ensuring the timely passage of e-governance bills in state legislatures. Option D, standardizing digital payment platforms for all government to citizen financial transactions. So the correct answer is that option A. It says that the theme of the 28th NCEG was Vikshit Bharat, Civil Service and Digital Transformation. So promoting citizen-centric services through the use of artificial intelligence is the correct option. 99th question reads, the Tripura Sundari temple, which was recently in the news, is considered one of the 51 Shakti Pitas. Which of the following statements about the temple are correct? First statement reads, it is located in the state of Tripura. It was built by Maharaja Dhanya Manikya Bahadur in 16th century. The temple is also locally known as Kalyan Sagar. Which of the above statements are correct? Correct answer for 99th question is that option B, statement 1 and 2 are correct, statement 3 is incorrect. Why statement 3 is incorrect means Kalyan Sagar is the large lake situated next to the temple and it is considered sacred. The temple itself is also known as Matabari temple. The 100th question, Anand Marriage Act. So the statement 1 reads, it is the traditional marriage ceremony of the Jain community. Statement B, it is the official marriage ceremony of Sikh religion. Statement C, it is a provision within the Special Marriage Act that allows for intercaste marriages. Option D, it's a ritual performed by Hindu couple involving 7 rounds around the sacred fire. So the correct answer for Anand Marriage Act is that option B, that is, it is the official marriage ceremony of the Sikh religion. So Anand Karaj literally means blissful union and is the official and religious marriage ceremony of the Sikh faith. So during the ceremony, the couple circumambulates the Guru Gobind Sahib 4 times while the 4 verses of Lavan are recited. So this is the end of the video. Do subscribe and share this video to your fellow aspirants. All the best for your coming up competitive exams.